Hello students, welcome to Time Classes. Topic of today's class is Vector Algebra. Handout code is QAHO 3571731. I hope everybody has the correct handout. Now if R is the position vector of a point P having coordinates x, y, z, then R can be expressed in the form of ijk as x into I plus y into j plus z into k, where ijk are unit vectors along x-axis, ox, oy and oz respectively. So R is expressed its coordinates along x direction. So we express R as xi plus yj plus zk, where ijk are unit vectors along ox, oy, oz respectively. And modulus of R is modulus of the vector sign is calculated as under root of x square plus y square plus z square. Now any vector which is equal to, let's say v is equal to ai plus bj plus ck, where ijk are unit vectors along ox, oy and oz respectively. Now for this vector, its direction ratios are ABC and its direction cosines are given by L is equal to A upon modulus of vector, M is equal to B upon modulus of the vector, N is equal to C upon modulus of the vector. Direction ratios are ABC and direction cosines are A upon V modulus of V vector, M is B upon modulus of V vector, N is C upon modulus of V vector. L, M, N are direction cosines and we have a standard result. If we square the three and add them, so we get L square plus M square plus N square equal to 1. So direction ratios are A, B and C and direction cosines are L, M and N. Linear combinations. A vector R is said to be a linear combination of vectors A, B, C, etc. if there exist scalars x, y, z such that R is equal to xa plus yb plus zc. Then we say it's a linear combination. But scalars should exist x, y, z so that x into a plus y into b plus z into c is equal to R vector. Now test of collinearity. 3 points ABC with position vectors A, B, C respectively are collinear if there exist scalars x, y, z not all 0. Please take into consideration not all 0 such that xa plus yb plus zc is equal to 0, where some of these scalars x plus y plus z is also equal to 0. Then we say these 3 points with position vectors as a, b, c are collinear. So a position vector is a, b position vector is b, c position vector is small c. They will be collinear if we find some scalars x, y, z not all of them 0 such that x into a plus y into b plus z into c is equal to 0, where x plus y plus z is equal to 0 and x, y, z are not all 0. Linear dependence and independence. A system of vectors ABC is said to be linearly independent if vectors ABC are said to be linearly independent if xa plus yb plus zc and so on equal to 0, which implies this is equal to 0 when all x, y, z are 0. That means we are not finding any other scalars which are satisfying. X, y, z scalars are all 0, then we had when multiplying the vectors by these scalars and adding them we get 0. This gives only a possible solution that all x, y, z and so on are 0. Then we say they are linearly independent. If ABC and so on is a system of vectors which is not linearly independent, then we say it is linearly dependent. And for such system of vectors, there exist scalars x, y, z. Now all should not be equal to 0 such that xa plus yb plus zc is equal to 0. So if we find a scalars, all of are not 0, but when we multiply them with vectors and add them, we get 0. So we say it's linearly dependent. If we do not find any such scalars and only a case implies that all x, y, z are 0, we say they are linearly independent. So linearly independent, we will not find any other scalars apart from all x, y, z should be 0. If it is not the case, then we say it's linearly dependent. Now let's come to question number 1 of the handout. It says a vector 4i minus j plus 3k and 12i plus 5j plus 3k are the position vectors of 2 points p and q respectively with some origin. With respect to some origin, they are position vectors. We have to find the length of pq. We have to first find the vector pq and then we take the modulus of that vector pq to get the length of the vector pq. Now can we say OP vector with respect to an origin O is 4i minus j plus 3k and OQ vector is 12i plus 5j plus 3k. We had OP vector with us, we had OQ vector with us. So PQ is OQ minus OP. PQ vector is calculated as OQ, position vector of Q minus position vector of P with respect to certain origin. We had OQ with us, we had OP with us. OQ is 12i plus 5j plus 3k and OP is 4i minus j plus 3k. If we subtract 12i minus 4i becomes 8i. 5j minus of minus j becomes plus j, 6j, and 3k minus 3k cancels out. So we get PQ vector as 8i plus 6j. This is the way in which we found the vectors PQ. PQ is OQ, position vector of Q minus position vector of P. And position vector of P and Q was given in the question. Now, question is asking for modulus of PQ, length of PQ. So length of PQ is under root of x square plus y square plus z square. Or if we express the vector in ai plus bj plus ck, so length is under root of a square plus b square plus c square. But in this case, coefficient of I is 8 in PQ. So 8 square is 64. Coefficient of j is 6. 6 square is 36. And coefficient of k is 0. So 0 square is 0. 64 plus 36, 100 plus 0, root 100, that comes out to be 10 units. So we are able to find the length of the PQ, that comes out to be 10 units. And if we look at the choices, we had our option as choice A as the answer. So our answer comes out to be choice A. So we simply find vector PQ with using position vectors and then find the length of PQ. Now question number 2 of the handout. It says in parallelogram ABCD, if P is the midpoint of BC, then BP plus AP is equal to 4 choices are given to us. So first of all, we say given ABCD is a parallelogram and P is the midpoint of BC. So midpoint of BC, that means BP is equal to BC by 2. It's a midpoint, P is the midpoint. And we have to find the value of BP plus AP. We can safely say BP is equal to BC by 2. Why? Because P is the midpoint. BP is BC by 2 vector, length wise. And BC is equal to AD as it's a parallelogram. So we can say BP is equal to AD by 2 also. Because in options AD is given. By parallelogram law of addition, we can say AP is equal to AB plus BP. We are using a vector AB plus BP is equal to AP vector. Now BP can be replaced by AD by 2. So we can safely say AP vector is equal to AB vector plus AD by 2 vector. So we find AP in terms of AB and AD because options are given in terms of AB and AD. And we have to find the value of BP plus AP. BP plus AP. Now if we substitute the value of BP and AP in the equation which we require to find the value, so AP is AB plus AD vector by 2 and BP is AD by 2. Can we say half of AD plus half of AD becomes AD? So this value leads to AB plus AD vector. So AP plus BP, the value of the one which we require to found, comes out equal to AB plus AD. And if we carefully look at the choices, we had our choice as choice C. Somewhere we have to keep option into consideration. If options are asking for only AB and AD, so we try to convert, we replace BC by AD. So BC by 2 by AD by 2. And then we apply the basic formula, basic law, AP is equal to AB plus BP. And AB is there in the option, BP is replaced by AD by 2. And then the value of the one which we are required to found, that is AP plus BP. AP is AD by 2 plus AB and BP is AD by 2. So half of AD vector plus half of AD vector gives us AD vector. And AB vector was already there. So answer comes out to be AB plus AD. That comes in choice C as answer. Now moving to question number 4 of the handout. It says direction cosines of the line passing through the points A and B with position vectors of A and B are given. So if a vector is AI plus BJ plus CK, direction ratios are ABC and direction cosines is A upon modulus of vector, as we can calculate the direction cosines. So line is passing through 2 points A and B and position vector of A and B is 3i minus 2j minus k and 5i plus 6j plus 7k. Can we say OA vector is 3i minus 2j minus k given to us, and OB position vector of point B with respect to origin O is given as 5i plus 6j plus 7k. Now we have to find a direction cosines of the line passing through this vector, that is from both A and B both points. Can we say if we found the vector AB, this is position vector of B minus position vector of A. Position vector of B minus position vector of A. We know the position vector of B. We know the position vector of A. So we substitute these back. So can I say this is 5i minus 3i is 2i. 6j minus of minus 2j becomes plus 2j. 6j plus 2j becomes 8j. 7k minus of minus k, that is minus of minus k becomes plus k. So 7k plus k becomes 8k. So we get this AB vector as 2i plus 8j plus 8k. Now we have to find its direction ratios, then direction cosines is asked. So can we say modulus of AB vector? Modulus of AB vector is 2 square is 4 plus 8 square is 64 plus 8 square is 64. 64 plus 64, 128 plus 4, 132, which is under root of 132. Now this is 33 into 4, so 2 comes out. From square root of 4, 2 comes out. So can we say modulus of AB is twice root 33. Now since we need to find direction cosines R, coefficient of I 2 divided by modulus, that is 2 upon 2 root 33, 8 upon 2 root 33, 8 upon 2 root 33. 2 cancel out. This comes out to be 1 upon root 33, 4 upon root 33, 4 upon root 33. Now if we carefully look at the choices, we had one choice matches with direction cosines of r's. Direction cosines we simply calculate from direction ratios or from by finding the vector which passes through the 2 points A and B. And then we take modulus of that vector and divide the direction ratios by modulus, so we get direction cosines. One more result we remember for direction cosines is if it is LMN, then L square plus M square plus N square is equal to 1. If we carefully look at the choices, we had our choice as choice B as the answer for this question. Straightforward basic question. You have to find AB vector from position vectors given. Then we calculate modulus and then we move to direction cosines. So choice is choice B as the answer. Now moving further, we come to question number 3 of the handout. It says the points with position vector I plus j minus 2k and 2i plus j plus k and 3i plus 4j minus 2k forms an equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, a scalene triangle, none of these. So first of all, we have to find the length of the sides of the triangle. Then we have to find the magnitude of the sides of the triangle. If all the 3 sides are equal, it becomes an equilateral triangle. If exactly 2 sides are equal, it becomes an isosceles triangle. If no sides are equal, then we should mark scalene triangle. And if none of the choices matches, none of the 3 conditions occur, then our answer would have been D option, none of these. So first of all, let A be the position vector with respect to origin is OA is I plus j minus 2k. OB is 2i plus j plus k. And OC is 3i plus 4j minus 2k. Now we can find AB as position vector of B minus position vector of A. So 2i minus I is I, j minus j cancel out, k minus of minus 2k, that is k plus 2k becomes 3k. So AB vector comes out to be I plus 3k. So first of all, we found AB vector. ABC can be taken any points, but with respect to some origin, so we take AB, A as the first one, B as the second one. So we find AB vector. And if we talked about its modulus, it comes out to be under root of A square plus B square plus C square. Now I coefficient is 1, 1 square is 1, plus J coefficient is 0, K coefficient is 3, 3 square is 9. So 9 plus 1 square root, that comes out to be root 10. So length of the AB, length of the side with position vectors as I plus j minus 2k and 2i plus j plus k is root 10. Now we try other side BC. BC is simply calculated from OC minus OB. Now OC minus OB is 3i minus 2i is I plus 4j minus j is 3j minus 2k minus k is minus 3k. So BC vector comes out to be I plus 3j minus 3k. And if we are supposed to find the length of BC, that is modulus of BC vector, we can simply say it's under root of 1 square plus 3 square plus minus 3 whole square. So minus 3 whole square is 9 plus 3 square is 9, 9 plus 9 18 plus 1 square is 1, that is 19. So length of BC vector is root 19. So first of all, if we carefully observe, AB comes out to be root 10, BC comes out to be root 19. So A option is straight away rejected. It's an equilateral triangle, not possible. 2 sides are different. Now if third side is one of the side root 10 or root 19, then it will become isosceles. If all the 3 are distinct, we will mark scalene triangle. Now similarly, we have to check for AC. AC is position vector of C minus position vector of A. So 3i minus I is 2i, 4j minus j is 3j, minus 2k minus of minus 2k. So minus 2k minus of minus 2k means minus 2k plus 2k cancel out. So it comes out to be 2i plus 3j. So we got vector equation of the third side also. And if we wish to find the modulus length of this side, it's under root 2 square plus 3 square. 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9. So this comes out to be under root 13. All the three sides are of different magnitude. So we can safely say it's neither an isosceles triangle. It's a scalene triangle. If we just AB is not equal to BC, which is not equal to CA. AB is not equal to BC, which is not equal to CA. So value comes out to be, it forms a scalene triangle. It forms a scalene triangle. So we mark our option as choice C. Choice C is our option. Answer comes out to be choice C, a scalene triangle. I hope this is clear. We just from position vector we find the three sides, and from the three side we calculate the length of the vectors, and then we find the modulus of the vector, and we see that all the three sides are of different magnitude. So hence the triangle forms a scalene triangle, which is given in choice C. Choice C is the answer. Question number 5 of the handout. It says if the sum of two unit vectors is again a unit vector. Two unit vector whose magnitude is one unit. If the sum of two unit vector is a unit vector, then find the magnitude of their difference. We have to find the magnitude of A minus B vector. So let's see. Let A and B be two unit vectors. A and B be two unit vectors. Given modulus of A is equal to 1, which is equal to modulus of B, as both are unit vectors. Modulus of A is equal to 1, which is modulus of B. And their sum is also a unit vector. So we can safely say that modulus of A plus B also equal to 1. First we got modulus of A is equal to 1, which is equal to modulus of B, and modulus of A plus B is 1, also given to us. So if we use this result, modulus of A plus B whole square plus modulus of A minus B whole square is equal to twice of modulus of A square plus modulus of B square. Now we had the value of modulus A, that is 1. We had the value of modulus B, that is 1. We had the value of modulus A plus B, that also 1. And we have to require the value of the modulus of A minus B. So out of 4 parts written in the equation, 3 parts we know, and we wish to require the value of the 4th part. So we just substitute back the values. Now since A plus B is a unit vector, its modulus is 1. So 1 square is 1. Plus A minus B modulus we wish to found. So A minus B modulus square is equal to twice of modulus of A is 1. 1 square is 1. Plus modulus of B is 1. 1 square is 1. So 1 plus 1, 2 on the right hand side multiplied by 2 becomes 4. And when this 1 on the left hand side goes to the right hand side, it got subtracted from 4. So 4 minus 1 becomes 3. Can we say A minus B modulus square is equal to 4 minus 1? 4 minus 1, which is 3. So we can say A minus B modulus is equal to root 3. Ignore the minus sign, as modulus cannot be negative. Length cannot be negative. And if we carefully look at the choice, our choice comes out to be choice B. We use a basic identity. A plus B modulus square plus A minus B modulus square is equal to twice of modulus square A square plus modulus of B square. And modulus of A and modulus of B is given to us. Also modulus of A plus B is also given to us unit. So we find the modulus of their difference. A minus B comes out to be root 3, which is given in option B. I hope this is clear. Now multiplication of vectors. Multiplication of vectors, scalar or dot product. If A and B are two non-zero vectors, A and B are two non-zero vector, and theta is the angle between them, where theta lies in the initial two quadrants from 0 to 180 degree, then their dot or scalar product is given by A vector dot B vector is equal to modulus of A into modulus of B into cos theta. Now if the angle between the two vectors is 0, they are parallel, then dot product is modulus A dot B is equal to modulus of A multiplied by modulus of B. But if they are perpendicular, that is theta comes out to be 90, so their dot product becomes 0. One of the condition to check whether the vectors, given vectors, are perpendicular or not. Cos 90 is 0, so in dot product AB cos theta, if theta is 90, then dot product becomes 0. If one or both of AB are 0, it may also be possible either one or both AB are 0, then also dot product is 0, or A dot B is a scalar. So we can say A dot B is equal to modulus of A in dot scalar component of B along A, which is equal to modulus of B multiplied by scalar component of A along B. And we can also say their dot product is commutative. A dot B is equal to B dot A. Dot product, if it is A dot B, it's AB cos theta. If it is B dot A, it's BA cos theta. And modulus we multiply A by B or B by A, doesn't make a difference. So scalar product is commutative. We say from this equation that scalar product is commutative. If ABC are any three vectors, then A into B plus C is equal to A dot B plus A dot C, as we applied distributive property. So A dot B plus C is equal to A dot B plus A dot C. Now two non-zero vectors A and B are perpendicular. Non-zero vectors, we are talking about non-zero vectors are perpendicular if their dot product, if and only if their dot product is 0. Because A dot B is actually modulus of A into modulus of B into cos theta. Since it is given that two non-zero vectors, so neither modulus A is 0 nor modulus B is 0, but value is equal to 0. So cos theta is equal to 0. Theta becomes 90 degree. 90 degree means it is perpendicular to both A and B. Then I dot J is equal to J dot I, which is equal to 0. They are perpendicular unit vectors. J dot K is equal to K dot J is equal to 0. And J dot K is equal to K dot I, which is also equal to 0. They are perpendicular unit vectors. So the dot product comes out to be 0. Then A dot B, dot product is positive if theta is greater than 0 but less than 90, lies in the first quadrant. Negative when theta lies in the second quadrant from greater than 90 but less than equal to 180. And 0 when theta is equal to 90 degree. Dot product is negative, theta lies in the second quadrant. Dot product is positive, theta lies in the first quadrant. Dot product is 0, theta is exact 90 degree. And the square of the vector is the square of its modulus. If you want to square a vector, it's as good as you just square its modulus. Modulus of a vector is AI plus BJ plus CK is and root of A square plus B square plus C square. This also gives us the distance, length of magnitude of this vector, and this is also, we can say the square of a vector is the square of its modulus, that is A square plus B square plus C square. I square, that is I dot I, K square, J square are all equal to 1. The scalar product is associative with respect to a scalar. Scalar product is associative when you multiply it by a scalar, that is M is a scalar, then M into A dot B is as good as MA dot B or A dot MB. That means the scalar product is associative with respect to a scalar, that is if M is a scalar, then M dot B is equal to MA dot BA, M dot A dot B is equal to A dot MB. Then we had one result. If A vector is AI plus A1I plus A2J plus A3K, an important result we have, and B vector is B1I plus B2J plus B3K, then A dot B is multiply their I coefficient because I square comes out to be 1. It's A1 B1 with sign plus A2 B2 plus A3 B3. That's A dot B. And if you know from the previous formula, cos theta is equal to modulus A dot B upon A square modulus of A plus into modulus of B. So A dot B is nothing but A1 B1 plus A2 B2 plus A3 B3 upon modulus of A is under root of A1 square plus A2 square plus A3 square. And modulus of B is B1 square plus B2 square plus B3 square. So that's called modulus of B. So we substitute the values, we can directly get the value of the theta, cos theta. So we can find the theta as cos inverse of the value. This formula is important to be using it again and again. The scalar product is associative with respect to a scalar. If M is a scalar, then M into A dot B is equal to MA dot B is equal to A dot MB. Work done is equal to force into displacement. Work done is equal to force into displacement. Now let's come to an example. Find the angle between the vectors 3i minus 4j minus 2k and minus 5i plus 2j minus 3k. Find the angle between the vectors 3i minus 4j minus 2k. So we use the formula. If theta is the angle between the vectors, then cos theta is equal to under root of a1 square plus b1 square plus c1 square under root of a2 square plus b2 square plus c2 square. Cos theta is a1 a2 plus b1 b2 plus c1 c2 upon root a1 square plus b1 square plus c1 square and a2 square plus b2 square plus c2 square. We can directly apply this in the formula. Here a1, b1, c1 are the coefficients of vector A, respectively I, j, k coefficients. A1 is 3, b1 is minus 5, c1 is minus 2. And a2, b2, c2. a2 is minus 5, b2 is 2, c2 is minus 3. We take this from second vector. Now let's multiply this a1, a2. 3 into minus 5 minus 15, b1, b2, 5 into minus 5 into 2 is minus 10, c1, c2, minus 2 into minus 3 is 6 plus. So 15, 10, negative, it becomes minus 25. Minus 25 plus 6 becomes 19, minus in the numerator. Denominator 25 plus 9, 34, plus 4, root 38, first bracket. Again second is also root 38. So root 38 multiplied by root 38 gives us 38. So can we say minus 19 upon 38 is equal to minus half. So find the angle between the two vectors. We get the value cos theta equal to minus half. Theta is equal to minus 1 by cos inverse minus 1 by 2. So cos theta is minus 1 by 2. So theta is equal to cos theta half means pi by 3. But it should be in first quadrant. But it says negative. So theta lies in second quadrant. So second quadrant minus 60 means 180 minus 60 is 120 degree. That is 2 pi by 3. So we can say cos theta is equal to 2 pi by 3 or 120 degree. The value of the cos theta between the angles between the two vectors. Since vectors were given, we use a formula for cosine and directly apply and get cos theta is equal to minus half. Minus half means theta is in second quadrant and theta varies from theta is 2 pi by 3, that is 120 degree. We can say it's 120 degree. So our answer comes out to be 120 degree as the answer. Yes. Now question number 18. It says the work done by the force F is equal to 3i minus 4j minus 5k along a particle moving a particle along a vector. Now the displacement direction we had 5i minus 2j plus 2k. We are applying a force and the particle is moving along the direction AB, 5i minus 2j plus 2k. So we have to find what is the length of what is the quantity of the work done. Can we say work done by force along AB is, work done by force along AB is F into AB, force into displacement, F into AB. Force is 3i minus 4j minus 5k and AB is 5i minus 2j plus 2k. We have to apply dot product. So we have to multiply coefficients of I, coefficient of j, coefficient of k. Why not I with j? Because I dot j is 0. So whatever there is in the coefficient when multiplied by I dot j, that is 0. The answer becomes 0. So 15 plus 8, that is 23 minus 10, that is 13. So 13 is the amount of the work done. So use a basic formula, work done is equal to force into displacement. Force vector form they had given and displacement they had given in the form of AB vector. So we applied modulus of AB multiplied by force vector to get the work done by force along AB vector. 15 plus 8, 23 minus 10 is 13. And if we look at the choices, we get our choice as choice D as the answer. So our choice comes out to be choice D. Number 6. It says if a vector A is given as 3i plus 2j minus k and B is given as 4i plus 2j plus k, then find the acute angle between A plus B and A minus B. First of all, we have to find A plus B vector as well as A minus B vector, and then we apply the formula to find angle between two given vectors. Now A is given as 3i plus 2j minus k, and b is given as 4i plus 2j plus k. So a plus b vector is, we have to add these two vectors. 3 plus 4 becomes 7i, 2 plus 2 becomes 4j, minus k plus k becomes 0k. So a plus b vectors becomes 7i plus 4j. We also required value of a minus b is minus I minus 2k. A minus b is 3i minus 4i, that is minus I. 2j minus 2j cancel out. Minus k becomes minus 2k. So a minus b is minus I minus 2k. We had a vector. A plus b is 7i plus 4j. Now we have to find angle between these two vectors. So we had a, if theta is the acute angle between a plus b and a minus b, then find theta. We had a formula, cos theta is modulus of a plus b multiplied with a minus b vector, dot product divided by modulus of a plus b, a minus b. Now a plus b vector is 7i plus 4j, a minus b vector is minus I minus 2k, upon modulus of a plus b. The modulus is under root of coefficient of I square plus j square plus k square. So in a plus b, we had 7 square, that is 49, plus 4 square, that is 60, plus 0 square 0, because k is not there in a plus b. Modulus of a minus b is minus 1 square plus 0, because j is not there, 0 square plus minus 2 square. So minus 2 square becomes 4, plus minus 1 square becomes 1, 4 plus 1 becomes 5. 49 plus 6, 55 plus 10, 65, that is under root 65. So in the denominator we have root 13 root 5 multiplied by root 5. So root 5 becomes 5 root 13. In the numerator we have to multiply. So we get 7 multiplied by minus 1, that is minus 7, plus 4 multiplied by 0, because coefficient of j is 0 in the second vector, plus 0 multiplied by minus 2, coefficient of k in the first vector. So we get ultimately minus 7 in modulus sign, and denominator we had root 65 and root 5. So root 5 into root 5 becomes 5, and minus 7 modulus becomes 7. So it becomes 7 upon 5 root 13. Cos theta is equal to 7 upon 5 root 13. So can we say theta is equal to cos inverse 7 upon 5 root 13, which is given as choice D. Answer is choice D as the answer. I hope this is clear. We apply a simple formula for cos theta. Now, coming to question number 11 of the handout. It says modulus of A vector is 3, modulus of B vector is 4, modulus of C vector is 5, and A vector plus B vector plus C vector is equal to 0, null vector. Then we have to find the value of A vector dot B vector plus B vector dot C vector plus C vector dot A vector. Its value we are supposed to find. So given A plus B, A vector plus B vector plus C vector equal to 0. This is given to us. We also know the value of the modulus of the three vectors. So can we use this result if we modulus A plus vector B plus vector C is multiplied by itself? We do whole square of this. So a vector multiplied by a vector becomes a scalar quantity. So modulus of A square plus modulus of B square plus modulus of C square plus twice, it is A dot B plus B dot C plus C dot A. Now, the term in the bracket, we are supposed to find the value of this term. Modulus of A is given us as 3. So, can we say twice of A dot B plus B dot C plus C dot A vector is equal to minus of modulus A square minus of modulus B square minus of modulus C square. Modulus A is given as 3, so modulus A square comes out to be 9 with minus sign. Minus is there outside. B is 4, so modulus B square is 16, so we put minus 16 because it's minus modulus of B square. And C square is 25, minus sign is there, so we put minus sign. So we get the value of 16 and 9, 25, and 25, 50. We get the right hand side as minus 50. And left hand side is the value of twice multiplied by A dot B plus B dot C plus C dot A. So can we say A dot B plus B dot C plus C dot A is equal to minus 50 by 2, that is minus 25. If you carefully look at the choices, options are very closely set. 25 minus 25, 50 minus 50. 50 in case you forget to divide by 2. But in this case, my answer comes out to be minus 25, which is given as choice D as the answer. Simply just modulus of A, vector A plus B plus C whole square we have done. And we use the basic identity, keeping in mind that A dot B is dot product A dot B. But we have to find the value of the term given in the bracket. And yet given us the value of modulus A, modulus B, modulus C. So we calculate that value. I hope this is clear. Now let's move to question number 16 of the handout. It says if vector B is given as 3j minus 5k. Now this vector can be expressed as the sum of two vectors C and D. That is, vector B is equal to sum of two vectors C plus D. An additional condition is given such that vector C is parallel to A vector. C is parallel to A vector and D is perpendicular to A vector, where A is 2i minus 3k. Then we have to find the value of the vector C. Vector B is given, it can be expressed as the sum of two vectors C and D, where C is parallel to A vector and D is perpendicular to A vector, and value of A vector is given. Then we have to find the value of the C vector. So can we say B vector is given as 3j minus 5k and A vector is given as 2i minus 3k. A is perpendicular to B vector is A dot B is given as A dot B. Can we calculate A dot B? We have to multiply the coefficient of only k term, minus 5 into minus 3, that becomes plus 15. Because B vector doesn't contain I, it's 0i, so 0i into 2 becomes 0. A vector doesn't contain j, coefficient is 0, 0 into 3 is 0. Only k coefficient get multiplied, so we find the value of A dot B, that comes out to be 15. We calculate this value. Further, the vector C is given parallel to A vector. So any vector which is parallel to A vector is of the form C vector is equal to PA, that is P into P is a scalar 2i minus 3k. We have to find the value of the P to evaluate the vector C. Since vector C is parallel to A vector, we can say C vector is equal to P into A vector, which is equal to P bracket 2i minus 3k. And D is perpendicular to A. The vector D is perpendicular to A. If two vectors are perpendicular, so we can simply say their dot product is 0. Because D dot A is modulus of D multiplied by modulus of A into cos theta. Theta is the angle between them. And if it has right angle 90 degree, cos 90 is 0. So, and given vector B can be expressed of sum of vector C and D. C vector we know is of the form P into A vector, it's parallel to A vector, plus D vector. B vector is given to us. Both sides we do dot product with vector A. Both sides we do dot product with vector A. So A dot B value we know is 15 is equal to P. A vector dot A vector, P is a scalar quantity kept outside, plus A dot D. Now since vector D is perpendicular to A, so A dot D is 0. Whether you do A dot D or D dot A doesn't make a difference as dot product is commutative. A dot B value we know as 15. A dot A is modulus of A square. Vector A is given as 2i minus 3k. So its modulus is under root of 2 square plus minus 3 whole square. 2 square is 4 plus minus 3 whole square is 9. 9 plus 4 becomes 13. So 15 is equal to 13p. So here we get the value of p as 15 by 13. Condition was given vector B can be expressed as the sum of two vectors C and D. C is parallel to A, so of the form P into A vector, and D is perpendicular to A, so A dot D is 0. So we write the equation B vector is equal to P into A vector plus D vector. Then both sides we do dot product with A, so it becomes A dot B is equal to P A dot A plus A dot D. A dot B value we know is 15. A dot A value is modulus of A square, that is 13. A vector is 2i minus 3k. So A dot A is 2 square is 4 plus minus 3 square is 9. 9 plus 4 becomes 13 plus A dot D is 0. A dot D is 0. So value of P comes out to be 13. And we have to find the value of C vector. And we know C vector is parallel to A vector of the form P into A vector. A vector is given to us. And value of P we found out as 15 by 13. So C vector comes out to be 15 by 13 into 2i minus 3k. If we carefully look at the choices, we had our choice as choice D as the answer. I hope this is clear. We use the conditions. Two vectors are perpendicular, their dot product is 0. Two vectors are parallel, one vector is equal to a scalar times of the other vector. And then we do dot product on both sides of A. For the given condition, vector B is expressed as vector C plus D. Now moving to vector or cross product. It says A cross B is AB sine theta into eta. Eta power is there. AB sine theta into eta. Where theta lies from 0 to 180 is the angle between A and B. And eta is a unit vector such that eta is perpendicular to both A and B. A vector, B vector and eta in the same order are in the right-handed orientation. That is, the rotation of a right-handed screw from vector A to B advance in the direction of eta. So A cross B is modulus of A multiplied by modulus of B into sine theta dot theta. Now we had certain points to remember. A cross B is not equal to B cross A, but A cross B is equal to minus of B cross A. Second, if A and B are parallel, then their cross product is 0. Why cross product is 0? Because an angle sine theta is there. So sine 0 is 0. Parallel vectors A cross B is 0. Third, I cross J is K, J cross K is equal to I, K cross I is equal to J, as long as we doesn't change the cyclic order from IJK. Now if we change the cyclic order, J cross I is minus K cross J is minus I cross K is minus J. And if we apply a cross product to I itself, I cross I, J cross J, K cross K, they are 0. Fourth point, the angle between two vectors sin theta is modulus of A cross B divided by modulus of A multiplied by modulus of B vector. Fifth, a unit vector perpendicular to the plane of A vector and B vector is given by eta, and eta is modulus of A vector cross B vector modulus of A cross B divided by modulus of A vector modulus of B vector. So basic properties are written. Parallel vector cross product is 0 because theta is 90 degree, and I cross J is K, whereas J cross I is minus K. A cross B is equal to not equal to B cross A, but A cross B is equal to minus of B cross A. And if a vector A is given as A1I plus A2J plus A3K, another vector B is given as B1I plus B2J plus B3K, then A cross B is IJK A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3. In this manner we calculate A cross B. It's again a vector quantity. Let's use this in question number 9. Find the unit vector which is perpendicular to the vectors 4i plus 3j plus 2k and I plus 2j plus 3k. You have to find a unit vector which is perpendicular to these two vectors. So A vector is given to us, B vector is given to us. A vector is 4i plus 3j plus 2k and B vector is I plus 2j plus 3k. So how do we calculate cross product? Coefficient of one vector in second row, coefficient of second vector in the third row, and the first row is IJK, and then we expand this determinant. It says A cross B is IJK 432 123. Now as we expand along the first row, I into 9 minus 4, that is 5, minus j into 12 minus 2, that is 10, plus k into 8 minus 3, that is 5. So we get A cross B as 5i minus 10j plus 5k. But we have to find unit vector. This vector is 5i minus 10j plus 5k. Now the unit vector perpendicular to both A cross B is, we divide A cross B vector by its modulus, because cross product gives a vector which is perpendicular to both A and B. So we say 5i minus 10j plus 5k divided by under root of 5 square plus minus 10 whole square plus 5 square. So 5 square is 25, minus 10 whole square is 100, plus 5 square is 25, that is root 150, which comes out to be 5 root 6 in the denominator, and 5 we take out common from the numerator. 5 and 5 cancels out. So we get I minus 2j plus k upon root 6 as a unit vector which is perpendicular to both the vectors A and B. And if we look at the choices, our choice comes out to be choice C, I minus 2j plus k upon root 6. Yes. Question number 19 of the handout. It says if A vector is I plus j plus 3k and A dot B is given as 13, A cross B vector is given as 10i plus 5j minus 5k, then we have to find vector B. We have to find vector B. A vector is given, A dot B is given to us, A cross B is given to us. So how do we find A cross B? Two vectors are given. We apply this method. We apply determinant, first row ijk, then one vector coefficient, then second vector corresponding coefficients. So let's try A cross B because we know vector A cross B. So it's ijk. A vector is coefficient is 1, 1, 3 and A cross B is 10, 5 and minus 5. So we expand this result. Now this is I into minus 5 minus 15. We are expanding along the first row. Minus j into minus 5 minus 30 plus k into 5 minus 10. So this comes out to be I into minus 20 minus plus 35j minus 5k. So we have the value of A cross B as minus 20i plus 35j minus 5k. If ABC are any three vectors, then A cross B cross C is solved as A dot C into B vector minus A dot B into C vector. So A cross B can be solved as, we have solved it by this particular formula. It says A cross B cross C is A dot C with B vector minus A dot B C vector. So we apply A cross B as A dot B into A vector minus A dot A into B vector. Now we had A cross B as we had calculated minus 20i plus 35j minus 5k. This becomes the left hand side is equal to 13i plus j plus 3k. That is, we put A dot B value in vector A value minus A dot A is modulus of A square, that is 9 plus 1 plus 1. So 9 3 square. A vector is I plus j plus 3k. So modulus of A, we put the value of modulus A is 9 plus 1 plus 1, that is root 11, square is 11, B vector. Now from this equation we will find the value of B vector. So if we simplify this, reduces to 11b vector, come to the left hand side, become positive. Rest all the term goes to the right hand side. 13i plus 13j plus 39k plus 20i minus 35j. On shifting from left hand side to right hand side, minus sign appears, plus 5k. So 11b is equal to 33i minus 22j plus 44k. So we can say b is equal to 3i minus 2j plus 4k. We get choice as, if you look at the choices, we get as choice B as the answer. So we use the basic property. I hope this is